Canada congratulates you, Iowa. Alright folks, Big Dave here from Canada is watching net. And today I want to do something that might shock a few keyboard warriors. I want to say congratulations, from Canada, to Senator-elect Renee Hardman in Iowa. Then something unexpected happened. Burning debris broke free. Glowing fragments fell from the burning apartment, tumbling end over end down the face of the building, trailing embers as they dropped. People on the sidewalk backed away instinctively. Some raised their phones. Others stepped behind police lines. In a city of skyscrapers, falling debris from 50 floors up is rare. Hardman's win means Republicans don't get that supermajority. So this isn't just symbolic, it affects what laws get pushed, how fast, and with how much unchecked power. From that distance, the building looked calm. Its reflective glass still mirrored the skyline. But one window was different. Smoke pulsed outward slowly, as if the building itself was breathing. Moments later, a faint orange glow flickered behind the glass. Fire had begun inside the apartment. 6 firefighters were injured while battling the fire. Investigators later determined the cause was accidental, traced to overloaded power strips inside the apartment. There was no arson. No criminal activity. But the questions didn't stop there. As minutes passed, the situation escalated. Flames filled one window completely. Then smoke poured from another. Dark, heavy plumes climbed the exterior of the tower, leaving a visible trail across multiple floors. What appeared small from the ground was already dangerous inside. So Senator-elect Hardman, if you ever hear this message, from a lot of Canadians, the regular folks, the working folks, the people who believe politics should be about results and dignity, we're happy for you. We're proud of a barrier breaking. We respect the work it takes to win.
In warehouses, unfinished products pile up. Electronics, cars, and machinery await parts that may never arrive. Businesses struggle, caught in the chaos of fractured supply chains and skyrocketing costs. Citizens, once hopeful, now face the harsh reality of rising prices and lost jobs. Populist promises of protection unravel under the weight of economic decline. Imagine a world where global commerce grinds to a halt. Ports once teeming with goods now stand eerily still. Invisible barriers rise, blocking trade and breaking connections. This is the reality when tariffs reshape economies and disrupt lives.
Deep under the water, with billions of gallons pressing down on me, I made a decision. I said to myself, let go of the board, Dave. Swim on your own. End this. I reached down, peeled the Velcro strap from my ankle. And suddenly, everything became still. A peace I cannot describe filled my body. A warmth. A presence. The moment I crossed into that patch of ocean, it was like the sea grabbed me by the ankle. A violent undercurrent pulled me toward the shipping lanes, like a force with its own will. I fought, and the ocean didn't care. Each time I climbed onto the board, a massive wave slammed into me. I tumbled like a feather, swallowed water until I was sick, and surfaced just long enough to beg for air. Only to be dragged under again. Minutes became hours. Hours became a question. Is this how it ends? I'm Big Dave, and Canada is watching. Net is bringing you this, an air defense intercept over Odessa at sunrise on the Black Sea coast. Look at that sky. Soft gold and gray, peaceful for a heartbeat. And then you see it. A silent triangle cutting through the dawn. A strike drone. No warning you can hear. No headline you can trust in the moment. Just a dark shape moving with one purpose, to turn mourning into panic. Now this comes easy for me. If those commie bastards ever breached our borders, I'd defend my country without hesitation, and I'd encourage my 10 kids to stand with me. And to every American who wants to stop tyranny and protect democracy, I urge you to act too. Remember, Canada is watching, and so is the world. Slava Ukraine, because every drone that falls short is a life that continues. A building that stays whole. A family that gets one more sunrise. I'm Big Dave, and Canada is watching. Net is going to keep bringing you the truth from the edges of the story the world can't afford to ignore. Reject the chaos. Refuse the mockery. Strength is the parent, the nurse, the teacher who keeps making room for the people below. This isn't news. It's a clock. Every second that drone stays airborne is a second closer to impact. Now watch how fast this becomes life or death. The drone slides over rooftops, antennas, chimneys, steel rails, ordinary structures that suddenly feel fragile. It's low now.
Too low. Close enough that the threat isn't abstract anymore. When a drone drops into a city's breathing space, it's not just targeting a building. It's threatening families, apartments, hospitals, power lines, water systems, everything that keeps a place alive. Somewhere out there, operators are tracking it. Eyes locked. Hands steady. And the decision is brutal. Let it fly, and you gamble with impact. Engage, and you gamble with debris. The phone rang again, and everything changed. Dave, we're pulling out, Gary said. Picto 2. Just like that, I was alone. A weaker man would have vanished. A bitter man would have blamed. But the next morning, I climbed into the rafters again. I introduced myself a second time. The other groups will speak for themselves. I alone take responsibility. No excuses. No finger pointing. Just truth. This is what air defense looks like in real time. Not a speech. Not a slogan. A split-second decision that turns a direct strike into falling fragments. A trade nobody wants, but one that saves lives. And let's anchor this where it belongs, Odessa. Ukraine. Not a theory. Not a simulation. A living city on the Black Sea, where dawn can be beautiful and terrifying in the same breath. This is the shape of the war in a single morning. A shadow in the sky. A city holding its breath. A flash of interception. Smoke and fire. Then dust rising where the world takes the impact. And through it all, the message is simple. Ukraine is still standing. Still watching the sky. Still intercepting the threat. Still refusing to let fear own the morning. I am a proud Canadian that has spent decades traveling buying tech, and now your tourism from us will disappear. Canadians stand with the America we know, who you are. The masses that have been dumped by the few. Act now by subscribing and telling your story in the comments. That's how open societies interact. We send love, honor, and hope. Do something now. Write your representative, not tomorrow now. Here comes the moment that decides everything. Watch this next second. This is the difference between a hit on the ground and a break in the sky. The drone creeps along a building edge, framed by concrete and steel. Final approach. Final second. Then the dawn splits open. A sudden flash, bright, violent, unmistakable. That's an intercept. That's the bang that says one thing clearly: not today. Most people walk into the legislature through the front doors. Not me. I climbed up into the rafters, the place where truth has to shout to be heard. When the chamber settled, I stood up and raised my voice. Excuse me. My name is David Conan, president of Inspiwa. In collaboration with Cape Breton and Picto, we will be organizing sit-ins unless the scope of this inquiry is expanded. For the first time in a century, they remember silence. As RIP passes, murals appear behind him. Rest in peace, prophet. Graffiti becomes gospel. Art becomes rebellion. Hope becomes contagious. R.I.P. walks into the distance, spade slung over his shoulder. Behind him, the words echo across the airwaves. Rest in peace. Prophet. Big Dave, here you made it to the end, and that means more than you'll ever know. Behind every frame are thousands of hours, countless images, and a whole lot of heart from the start of this channel. I build these stories to shine a little light into the noise, but that light only travels if you carry it forward. March, every empire fears its echo. Every tyrant fears the day the lights go out. R.I.P. leads the 3C through abandoned cities built from greed. Screens flicker with Cable's face, his voice booming through broken speakers. You can't unplug from me. I am your signal. But the people are already unplugging. One by one, they step outside, breathing air unfiltered by corporate control. Planet Nothing, across the void, spinning in the darkness, lies Planet Nothing, an industrial moon powered by profit and pride. Here, the air hums with advertisements. Every breath costs a fee. Every thought belongs to the company. At the top of the Golden Tower sits Bill Cable, the self-declared Trumpy oligarch, broadcasting his sermons of consumption. Buy more. Believe less. And above all, never unplug. The sky glows with a light untouched by ads or algorithms. R.I.P. stands among the ruins, coat torn, armor scorched, but spirit unbroken. He doesn't raise his fist in victory. He just exhales, a man finally unburdened. People emerge from the shadows, unplugged and awake. They don't chant his name.
They whisper it, like a promise to themselves.
In Libya, Gaddafi ruled for 42 years with ruthless control. Dissenters disappeared, their voices silenced. Their bodies discarded in mass graves, evidence of a dictator's iron grip. Russia alone spends just 1% of its resources on destabilization efforts, yet the ripple effects, disinformation campaigns, erosion of trust, and diminished unity are catastrophic.
Russia spends just 1% of its coffers to destabilize democracies. And yet, the ripple effects are devastating. Lies spread faster than truth. Distrust replaces unity. To our southern neighbors, we extend a hand of partnership, not submission. Canada's independence is not up for negotiation. Our history, present, and future are testaments to a nation that values sovereignty, embraces diversity, and faces adversity head-on. Canada doesn't need to be the 51st state. Canada is, and always will be, strong and free. Your fight isn't with your neighbor. Your fight isn't with the distractions that flood your screens every day. Your fight must be aimed at the judiciary, because without this victory, you are doomed. Once the courts are turned, once the legal system bends to the will of a dictator, there will be no checks, no balances, and no escape. David's voice. I realized that leadership is service. It's about standing up for others, especially when they're voiceless. I created a community where injured workers could get the help they needed, access to legal advice, documents, anything to give them a chance to rebuild their lives. But it wasn't just about fixing broken systems. It was about empowering individuals to rise above their circumstances, to help people believe in their own strength. That's when I truly understood the power of social change. It wasn't just about helping people feel better in the moment. It was about transforming lives, giving people the tools to reclaim their dignity, rebuild their futures, and rise up from their challenges. It was a lesson in human potential, seeing people who felt broken, who were at their lowest, and helping them believe again in the power of hope, strength, and resilience, because truth only lives when it's heard. And remember, Canada is watching net, and we see everything. No matter how white the house, it casts a shadow. We follow that shadow with light, with cameras, with truth, until every lie burns away. Because fascism dies when the world is watching. Canada is watching net, and Big Dave is still on duty. In 2024, Donald Trump walked into the Oval Office, sat before the world, and humiliated himself and this country on an unprecedented scale. French President Emmanuel Macron reached across to stop him mid-lie. United Kingdom, the British Prime Minister interrupted him to correct him. Newspaper or journalist, tired of deception, asked the unthinkable, "Why do you keep lying, sir?" And what did Trump do? He lied again. Pushpin. He claimed America had given $350 billion to Ukraine. The real number? $119 billion. Little Lindsay Lou, who in the voice of greed inside, Lindsay Lou, who, tiny but fearless, stirred awake. The sound of tape tearing and ornaments clinking broke her dream. She tiptoed toward the tree and froze. Bill Cable, the villain of Wall Street, Whoville, was wrapping her family's Christmas tree like a foreclosure notice. "Why are you stealing our Christmas?" she whispered. Without turning, Cable replied, "Because free joy ruins the market, sweetheart." His words dripped like melted gold, shiny, heavy, and toxic. Then the fireplace coughed a spark. Then another. Scene 4, the arrival of Orion Quark. Out of the smoke stepped Orion Quark, half philosopher, half chaos, and wholly alive. Then, a sound cuts through the magic. A bell, offbeat, like metal gilt. Camera pans. A Santa stands near a crooked lamppost. Beard cheap, suit faded, eyes restless. His jar reads Salvation Army, but the logo's off-center. Even the pigeons hop away, muttering city bird words of doubt. Nova Star squints. Nova Star. That's not a volunteer, Dave. That's a vibe. Big Dave chuckles. This didn't start in 2022. It started in 2014, with the seizure of Crimea. It continued with a grinding war in the Donbass. And in 2022, it exploded into a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The excuses changed by the week: security concerns, protecting Russian speakers, denazification. But underneath the slogans, the reality is simple. This is a war of empire and theft. Russia wanted land, resources, and control over a neighbor that dared to choose Europe, democracy, and self-determination. Ukraine refused to kneel. They fought back. Hard. Kyiv did not fall in 3 days. Ukrainian cities did not fold. Instead, Ukrainian soldiers held the line, citizens volunteered, and the world watched a smaller country stand against a larger invader with courage and clarity. Russia expected fear. Most people walk into the legislature through the front doors. Not me. I climbed up into the rafters, the place where truth has to shout to be heard. When the chamber settled, I stood up and raised my voice. Excuse me. My name is David Conan, president of Inspiwa. In collaboration with Cape Breton and Pictou, we will be organizing sit-ins unless the scope of this inquiry is expanded. Most people walk into the legislature through the front doors. Not me. I climbed up into the rafters, the place where truth has to shout to be heard. When the chamber settled, I stood up and raised my voice. Excuse me. My name is David Conan, president of Inspiwa. In collaboration with Cape Breton and Pictou, we will be organizing sit-ins unless the scope of this inquiry is expanded.